Hello and welcome. My name is Katya and I'm connecting with you today from Cherwell College, a pre-university tutorial college here in Oxford. And we're in June now, and it's a lovely and sunny day outside. And Oxford University Open Days are just around the corner, happening on the 2nd and 3rd of July. And those events are really a great opportunity for prospective Oxford applicants to visit the city, visit the colleges of the University of Oxford, meet other prospective applicants and also existing students and admission tutors, and just to get a feel of the city and the environment here in Oxford. So just to get you a bit inspired, we've put together this short guide for international students, particularly geared towards those who have just completed their first year of A-level, which means that they're in a penultimate year of their high school studies and are seriously thinking about applying to Oxford. So few things to consider if you're thinking to applying to Oxford is the first step is to choose one course to apply for. And Oxford University offers over 30 undergraduate courses ranging from PPE, politics, philosophy, and economics, which is quite competitive to get into, to medicine, computer science, and many other, either in single subjects or in the combined subjects. Questions to ask yourself are what subject you're truly passionate about and whether you meet the entry requirements. And some of those questions can be answered by really consulting the Oxford University admissions course page. I'm giving a hyperlink here, but you can easily Google it, Oxford University admissions course listing, and you should be able to find it quite easily on the internet. So start from there and start early to really form an opinion and to make an informed decision. The second thing to bear in mind is the early application deadline if you're applying to Oxford and Cambridge, collectively known as Oxbridge, and also for most courses in medicine, dentistry, and veterinary sciences, even if those are not in the University of Oxford and Cambridge and other UK universities. You'll have to meet the early application deadline, which is 15th of October, the same each year, and please make sure you submit your application prior to 6 p.m. UK time on the 15th of October. Make sure your application is complete and submitted before that, as late applications cannot be accepted. You're really running a risk of losing on your chances there if you leave it till too late. So bear this in mind. It's a much earlier deadline than for other UK universities, which is usually in January. So make sure you know about the requirements there. Thirdly, what are the essential components of UCAS? So normally students would start working on their UCAS form in May, June, before the October deadline. And as we're in June now, it means that you have either already started or just about to start working on your UCAS form. And if you're applying, if you're linking your application to your current school, you would normally be given a buzzword, which means that your application is linked to your college, to your school, and therefore your UCAS advisor or tutor on whom you are relying to give you a reference can access it and also give a reference. So what are the essential components of the UCAS form? The easiest one is personal details, and obviously the personal details, it's something you normally do independently, so you fill out, make sure you input details correctly. The second one is your university choices, and you're only allowed up to 5. So if you're applying to Oxford, 1 out of 5 will be your Oxford choice, and then the other 4 are the UK universities. The third element is your education history. So any actual grades you can provide, whether GCSE or maybe you have some AS results, or even if you've already completed maybe some A-levels previously. But the majority of your grades will be your predictions. Those will be then exams taken at your second year of A-levels. And therefore, you are still able to enter your predicted grades in your form. The personal statement is one for all 5 university choices, so you can't really tailor it to a particular university or course, and therefore it's really, really important. It's limited again in number of words. You're allowed, I believe, 4,000 characters, which equates to around 500 words, and I think there is even a sort of like 47 line requirement. Do please check it. You can check the most up-to-date information on the UCAS portal, UCAS website. But personal statement is the top tips I would say are sort of assume it will take you longer than you think, so start working on it early, and it's probably something which you have already been thinking about or maybe doing some initial drafts during the past academic year. So concentrate on it's your opportunity to show why you're choosing that particular course, what makes you passionate about it, what have you read, listened, watched, or formed an opinion on, and what would make you a good student, basically, to study that course. So this is what the universities are primarily looking at. Don't forget to include any relevant work experience or any skill set, which again helps you in that quest. Another important element is a reference, and it's usually a single reference from your current school or sixth form, incorporating your tutor's feedback. So again, it is quite important, and normally, obviously, your tutors will take time to form an opinion on you. So if they've known you now for a year or for several years, then it's a really good starting point as well, because then they can really show and they can really talk about your sort of like evolution as a student as well. So here is a very Oxbridge specific problem. So if you're applying to Oxford or Cambridge University, you would be given a choice whether to make a college specific application or an open application. Because as I've previously mentioned, in the example of Oxford, it is Oxford University as an institution, but there are 39 constituent colleges, and out of 39, 30 offer undergraduate programs. So really then it is up to you to decide whether you want to make a specific college application to a specific college within the University of Oxford, or an open application sort of to the department, okay? Either way is fine. It doesn't place you in any disadvantage. However, if you make an a college-specific application, do please make sure you research on that college, you visit, if you can, Oxford or open day for that particular college, and you are able to back up your decision, your choice in your interview if you are asked. It can be, for instance, you prefer the location or the facilities or their particular department fellows which appeal to you. So to make sure you do your research and are ready to back it up. I can recommend a really great video by one of the Oxford academics, and it's a quick tour of all the undergraduate colleges in Oxford, so all 30 of them, with a Google Earth tour, and it's by the Dr. Matthew Williams, I believe, from Jesus College, Oxford. And here's a QR code which you can scan. It will take you to that particular YouTube video. It's a great watch. I really recommend, and I think it was created sort of like during the times of lockdown, so when visits were not possible, but it's a really it's a fantastic feature also for international students who may not have that opportunity to visit Oxford, sort of to fly specifically for an open day. So please check it out. I think it's about like a 25-minute video. Another important element which you should consider if you're planning to apply to Oxford or to any other UK really university is whether you meet the particular entry requirements for the course at that specific university or college. And this is mainly just to avoid disappointments later. You need to really make sure that you are on target to meet the admission criteria. So in the course listings of the Oxford University undergraduate courses, you can go in each particular and check what are the entry requirements. Usually it will be sort of excellent grades, A's or A stars in your 3 A levels, but there may also be, for instance, the aptitude test, additional admission tests to take, or a particular subject combination, as for medicine, for instance, where it's a prerequisite for you to study chemistry at A level if you want to make an application for an undergraduate for a medical degree. So do please check those really carefully, okay? And you would normally be, even if you're looking to apply for really competitive courses and for some sort of courses like medicine, you would already probably be given this advice much earlier, because, as I say, your subject selection for A levels then really determines your future path, okay? And in the case of international students, if English is not your first language, just be prepared that you will need to demonstrate your English language proficiency, and it's usually through the IELTS Academic for UKVI test. Admission tests and written work. So this is something we touched upon in the previous slide. And the admission tests are basically those set by the University of Oxford. So I'm giving here a few examples. So TSA, Thinking Skills Assessment, LNAT, which is Law National Aptitude Test, UCAT, UK Clinical Aptitude Test, MAT, which is Maths Aptitude Test, and there are many more. So there is one, for instance, for physics as well. And therefore, those are, you really need to try to get your best results on those tests, and they can be a determining feature. They are taken even before the October deadline, so you have to start looking now. Registrations normally open in July. Tests are taken then in August or early September, and you normally receive your results quite instantly as well. So they're quite a determining feature as well. In the case of, for instance, some of the competitive courses where you're required to take this admission test, you may then, if you unfortunately don't get the particular result, you may then drop your application, so not proceed with it. In terms of the written work, there is a requirement on some essay-based subjects, like, for instance, politics, history, to submit essays in advance. Usually deadline for those is November, and the essays shouldn't be written specifically for this purpose, but should form part of your sort of college work, and they shouldn't exceed more than 2,000 words in length. So no 10,000 word dissertation, please. And if you're not sure, there are ways to contact the Oxford undergraduate admissions department to find out, but your school or your counselors will probably be able to advise on that. So admissions tests, very importantly, again, if you are due to take any, especially this coming August and September, if you haven't done already, do start your preparation. And the undergraduate, the University of Oxford undergraduate page, specifically this one here, you can access through the QR code. There are plenty of useful materials and past papers to get on with. So please visit, explore if you haven't done so already. Interviews. Okay, this is there are lots of myths about Oxford interviews, and but really those are more like a short tutorial, and therefore they usually held, if you're successful to get to that interview stage, you would normally be invited to an Oxford interview in early December. So after your October submission, then November written work, and then December. Early December are the interviews. And again, as the university says, these are more academic conversations with tutors to assess your thinking, not just your knowledge. So it's just your process of thinking, your reasoning, how you arrive at a particular sort of conclusions, how you form your judgment. And these are currently held online as well. So it is particularly sort of maybe beneficial for international students in some respect. They don't need to make this journey, and therefore the interviews, and the majority, currently it's probably like a post-COVID feature that these are taken online. So again, there are Really, really useful resources provided by the University of Oxford. Please make sure to explore those and have a look at online demonstration interviews available through this QR code. Again, it's all on the official Oxford University pages. So please make sure to explore and really listen in detail and try to grasp this idea of, like how it is the format and structure of the interview, so that you are not, taken aback and you know what to expect if you reach that stage. One of the things evaluated during the interviews and is your sort of how would you benefit and whether you would benefit from the specific method of teaching which is exercised in Oxford. And it is very, as I said, it's based on a tutorial, and tutorial are small, these are 2-3 students and an academic, and therefore it's very in-depth, detailed academic discussion. So in addition to your lectures, seminars, plenty of independent work, you will be attending weekly tutorials, and those are really, really, really getting in depth and in detail of the subject matter. This is quite a unique feature to Oxford and to Cambridge, and also this is something which Cherwell is kind of mirroring, and we sometimes position ourselves at the Oxford College in miniature. So this is something which we practice at pre-university level, so that when our students then make an application to Oxford University, they really know what to expect, and they really know the intensity of these tutorials, because this is where you are really, really tested, and your boundaries are expanded. Again, do please read about this particular method of teaching, and because one of the determining features and one of the features which the interviewers are looking for, whether you are that caliber of student to really benefit from those and would make you a good in that respect. Okay, so final decisions, and these will be normally available in January, and you will be notified via UCAS and also via email, as from our previous practice. And the offers are usually conditional based on your final school results. So you'll still have to get your grades, even though you've passed the admission the aptitude test and interviews with flying colors. You still need to make sure you meet your you meet the conditions of your offers, whether it's like A's or A stars in your A-level subjects. And if you're successful, congratulations, you're on your way to Oxford. But if not, again, do not despair, because as we say, no preparation for work is ever wasted. It's a fantastic experience to even go through this process and application to Oxford. And there are many other excellent universities out there for you. So now the question is how to prepare. And as a pre-university tutorial college, we support our students, and we offer full-time A-level education for those aged 16 plus, and also for 18 plus students. So we cater for the quite wide range of the age groups, and normally A-levels are taken from the ages of 16 to 18. However, if you're an international student who has just completed their high school in their country of residence and seriously thinking about applying to Oxford, you may want to go through this rigorous 2-year level study to give you the best possible chances of success. So this is possible again, and you're not too old and it's not too late. Another 2 elements to consider are short-term programs, so which can be complementary to your full-time studies here at Cherwell. And these are auxiliary preparation courses and also short-term aptitude preparation courses. So we normally offer this as a pre-sessional in August before you begin your studies in September. And they are really, really useful because they give you this head start, and also we can support you then at the end of your first year, beginning of your second year, to prepare for your aptitude university admission tests. So here I'm providing a QR code, again, a route for you to access full presentation on two categories of A levels we offer. So A level enhanced, which is for standard for those aged 16 years of age, and A level step up for those aged 18, so sort of more mature candidates. And the summer academic programs, again, those are pre-sessional, and we run this virtually every year in August. And they are based, some of them are based on the university preparation specifically. So there are other different categories, but if you're particularly looking for university aptitude preparation, again, those are offered, and they're a fantastic opportunity for you to just kind of like give you that, additional help and support before you go for your test. So you can access the full presentations through the QR code. And if you would like to find out more, don't hesitate to reach out. We offer short mini consultations, 15-minute calls, which you can book by following this QR code. And I hope it was very useful today, and thank you very much for joining us. And in terms of the other educational content which is available, please visit our YouTube page. We try to keep it updated and refreshed, and there are plenty of other fantastic and inspiring conversations with our tutors in politics, history, physics, psychology. So if you're interested in a particular subject or subject matter, do please scan the QR code, visit our YouTube, subscribe, and follow us, and for more educational content. And all the best with your applications, and have a great summer.